Good day, everyone. This is Mark Schmidt, Superintendent of Schools for Staples Motley, giving you an update regarding Monday night's board meeting, which took place at June 18th, 2012, at 7 p.m. at the Motley newly constructed Family Center. The little Cardinals Academy Family Center is a response to community-wide feedback stating a need for an all-day everyday preschool. So the district dedicated some ERA funds to redo that. ERA funds were federal stimulus dollars this district received the last few years. Beginning the agenda was a forum inviting people to speak on the Children's Internet Protection Act. No one was presented for that. However, that was a statutory requirement to post that and provide people an opportunity to speak on that. However, at this time, nobody chose to speak regarding the Children's Internet Protection Act. The board then moved to the consent agenda. Then they moved to the financial items. Upon approving the financial report and to pay all vouchers, the school board then heard a report from Marcy Lord, who was our business manager. The report was to go over the upcoming agenda for the 2012-2013 school year. This was actually a follow-up to a work session the board did with a number of teaching staff reviewing the upcoming budget as well as a number of past budgets for the district. But Mrs. Lord presented that to the board, and the board approved the 2012-2013 budget. That budget has a total projected deficit of slightly over $500,000. The board then moved to approve various committed funds. This is part of a government regulation where the board says certain dollars must be used for certain items. The next item was for the board to approve write-offs. These are bills owed to the school district. A little deceiving in using the word write-off, though that's the official term. What it does is potentially gives the business office an opportunity to move forward with a collection agency on bills that are owed the school district. Finally, the item 14 was a request for aid anticipation. Given the state's delayment of payments to schools by 30%, there are some months where our cash flow may be a little short, so we basically go out and get a loan in anticipation of that aid. So the board approved that in the amount of $500,000. Excuse me. The board then approved two bids. One of them was for bakery products, and those will go to Pan of Gold, as well as our muffins. We order about 25 dozen muffins every day from Staples Express, and that is for our breakfast program. And dairy products, I believe, went to Land O'Lakes. Yes, the dairy products went to Land O'Lakes, and those were two bids that the board approved for the upcoming school year. The board then moved to personnel items, which was the first thing was a contract for Travis Van Overbeek. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. Travis is a new high school physical education teacher. There was a fair amount of dialogue with the board and motions and rescinding of motions regarding this individual, and the reason for that was the expense of this individual coming in at a master's step 5. And like I said, there was quite a bit of dialogue on the board regarding that. The board did end up approving the contract for Travis Van Overbeek for a MA Step 5, and we welcome Travis to the school district. And that was a hire in to fill the retirement of Keith Hoffman. The school board then approved a new contract for Linda Beebe. Linda Beebe is our help desk specialist. We are contracting time through Freshwater now for our network support. However, because that network support time is being reduced, Linda Beebe is going full time, and that the change of that ends up saving the district, from what I believe, a little over $12,000. We then moved to accept the retirement of Sue Storbakken, and I'd like to thank Sue Storbakken for her many years of service to the district and wished her the best upon retirement. Next was a resignation for Deb Eagletail, and once again I'd like to thank Deb Eagletail for her years of service and wish her the best of luck in her future endeavors. The next item is a piece of good news. We have one of the largest incoming kindergarten classes that we've had for quite some time. I haven't went out and looked for the specific number of years, but right now I believe the numbers are somewhere around 116 incoming kindergartners, which is a phenomenally large class. That's going to result in adding a fourth section to Staples Elementary, and we are also adding a second section at Motley Elementary for kindergarten. In Motley Elementary, we're actually doing a partnership with Moorhead State University, where we are going to have a teacher residency program where we have a newly licensed or fairly new licensed elementary education teacher, and they are going to come in and work with probably about 10 kids in a separate section, which is going to provide a phenomenally low classroom experience. And while they're doing that, they're going to be receiving their K-12 reading licensure over the course of 2 years. And they're going to be working closely, we're doing this both in kindergarten and first grade over at Motley, and begin working with our present staff in those grade levels over there. But we are very excited to see such a large kindergarten class. This is actually 2 out of the last 3 years we've seen a significantly larger kindergarten class coming into the district. So we are very pleased to see more people choosing the Staples Motley School District to send their children here for a quality education. That whole addition is resulting in a posting for a 5th grade position. I won't get into the potential moves of staff and stuff, but in a step-by-step manner, that addition of a 4th section in kindergarten in Motley ends up resulting in a 5th grade posting for Staples Elementary. The board then moved to approve a contract for Kathleen Whiterin. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I haven't met Kathleen yet, but Kathleen is going to be the new LD, Learning Disabilities teacher at Staples Elementary. So we'd like to thank Kathleen and welcome her on board. And finally, the board approved an additional 15 days for summer work for Penny Olson, who's the high school social worker. This is a result of the reduction of a high school counselor, and those days were given to Ron Storbakken as the counselor, who will not be here anymore. So Penny Olson will be working those 15 days, and her contract needed to be adjusted appropriately. And a couple final items. The Staples Motley the board approved the Staples Motley local literacy plan. This is a literacy plan for our elementaries. This was put together by a number of teaching staff, as well as Jason Lutzik and Ryan and Justin Sperling. And that plan is also required from the state for some additional reading literacy funds that the district will begin receiving next year. Next item was a lane change request for Ruth Takarsik. She is going from a BA 60 to a BA 75. Final 2 items was approval of the transportation agreement with our bus drivers. That was agreed upon, and approval of the administrative agreement. That's basically our 3 principles. That was not agreed upon. That is going back for further negotiations. There was concern expressed by the board for some changes in vacation and longevity payment. So that is going back for negotiations, and that item has been tabled for a future meeting. The final item was a first reading of policy 807. It's a health and safety policy. It's a newly required policy from the State Department, and that policy is required in order for us to receive any health and safety money. Because it's a new policy, we first do a first reading, and that provides people an opportunity to review that and provide feedback and changes to that policy. And if anyone would like to view that, that is available on the school website. With that, that completes the actionable items from the school board. I wish everyone a healthy and safe summer. Take care.